Hello. So today I'm working on my computer right now as I'm talking to you. And I have a new thing that just came into fruition. New products that are going to be on my web store that are going to be made by a third-party entity. Kind of like if you've been to my web store, you see that I have Society 6, which makes all kinds of like home goods and clothing and whatever that has my imagery on it. The website platform that I use has now linked up and offers through its web stores a partnership with this company called Printful. And this is kind of an awesome situation because it allows for me to just create the images and have them available on a variety of products, and it's all in my web store. So people don't have to go to an external site, like leave my web store, go to an external site. It gets to be a lot of steps, which is like cumbersome and confusing for customers and whatever. And it's one of those print on demand companies. And I've heard some people bitch about these, and I personally think it's fantastic as a small business owner and as someone who I've owned my own clothing line, which has been scaled down to bare bones because of the problems that small business owners run into and small producers run into. And I'm going to explain this a little bit for folks who have not created product in any sort of quantity. When, let's say I want to get t-shirts made, I have to get all of those in a minimum to where if, like how I did it with my clothing line that I had custom designed, I designed t-shirts, like, so they had poofy sleeves and a different cut, and I was able to design all those aspects of it. But in order to do that, I had to purchase 300 of those at a minimum and broken down into size increments, which that's a lot of money up front. If you don't want to do that, if you just want like basic tees, okay, well, you can have a screen printer do that for you. Order the tees and then get the image screen printed on it, as opposed to making your own shirts or your own apparel. But even with that, there is a minimum. Most screen printers will, all in, they will do a minimum of like 24 per size per color, or some screen printers will do like a 48 piece minimum with the size breakdown within that. And that'll be a certain number of small, medium, large, extra large. And a lot of companies don't offer more than extra large, or if they do, they charge more for that, which is bullshit. That's bullshit. So with that, you're looking at, let's say I'm wanting to make a t-shirt and I have one image. I have to buy at least 48 of them. And it's usually with the shirt and print included, you're looking at, for just a really basic kind of crappy quality shirt, for the print and the shirt, $5 or $6 per each. If you want a nice quality shirt, it can be up to like $8 or $9 each. And that doesn't include the screen setup costs and all of that, which are usually $15-20 per screen. So what you're looking at all in, let's say you want to get the minimum of 48 shirts, the nicer quality, so the shirt plus screen print is $9 each. And if it's only going to be one color, that's a $20 setup fee. So that's $450. Each color on screen printing is another screen and another setup fee. So if you want 3 colors, add $40 to that. So for one t-shirt, I've got to spend $500. And then that doesn't guarantee that all 48 of those will sell. So you're going to sell the mediums and larges really fast. You're going to get left with a bunch of smalls. And this is why sometimes anything more than extra large is not found, because there's not as many of those sold, so people don't want to purchase them because the chances of them selling are not as high as the mediums and larges, and so they're just sitting there, and so you're just sitting on money. That's a lot, and that's just one shirt. If you want to have like 4 or 5, so let's just say all in $500 with shipping of product to your place and whatever, all in $500 per design, and that's just to have 48 of them. So let's say to launch a brand of multiple shirts or multiple items, you're looking, each one is 500, and that's just for one color shirt. If you want it on multiple, so one style of shirt on one color for just a small size run, that's $500. If you want it on another shirt color, look at another $500. If you look at it, like it is very expensive to do that startup. And that's where print on demand comes in. Because with this, for small businesses and small brands, this is amazing, to where they have the blanks, they have leggings, hats, there's like shoes in here. I'm going to have shoes available with my images printed on them. All of that, you just set up the image files, you give it to them. The item quality is a good quality. They will print it on there. Once someone has ordered it, they print it and custom make it and then send it to the customer for you. This takes shipping out of the situation. This takes inventory out of the situation. That takes all of the startup costs. I would never be able to do shoes without investing because shoes, just looking at the sizing, 5.5 to like 11, 5.5, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8, like all of those sizings for men and women's sizing. Who can afford to do that? Like that's a bonkers amount of money right up front. So this, if you, so any of my little bunnies out there, if you're thinking about, if you have ideas that you want to like put stuff on products, there is Society 6, which is great, and they have their own little storefront, which in their site, and they do really great about like promoting the artists that are on Society 6. But if you have like your own web store attached to a website, or if you have like Squarespace, that's what I've always used. Like Squarespace is great. I've used them since they came out. You get a Squarespace website and have a storefront on there. Printful you create the items in Printful, and it just feeds right into your Squarespace store. It also will feed into an Etsy store. It will feed into, there's a bunch of different, like, I haven't looked through because I only have the Squarespace, so I haven't investigated deeper with that. But if you are a creator and want to have products, print on demand products, this feeds directly into your store, your already existing web store, so it populates it, and then they handle the creation, the fulfillment, the shipping, all of that, and you get a percentage of that product price. It is a really great way for little guys like me to be able to have a wide variety of products and not have to shell out those upfront costs, because those upfront costs are like they're a nightmare. The only reason that I can think that people are grumpy about this are the small businesses like the screen printers and the embroiderers and places like that, that they are losing business from these places. And I get that. I understand that. And I understand why they have to charge what they do. Absolutely. They have to get paid what they're worth. But for little guys, those startup costs for a screen printer, that's it's just really high. For any of that, it's really high. So I'm going with this. And this is also a great tool. Like if you want to test out and see what items go well, before then maybe taking and doing a higher production through a screen printer, a local screen printer. That's a thing, because I'm going to just make a bunch of stuff, just like fucked funny t-shirts. There's anything that comes to mind, going on a t-shirt, going on a coffee mug, because I don't have the startup now. I can just make the most fucked bananas stuff out there, because if you no longer have to worry about laying out thousands for startup costs for a variety for a variety of items, then that we've just taken the lid off. So things are going to get really fucking funny. They're going to get really funny. I am excited because this just, it took my shackles off. There's some products on there right now. We've got severed fingered headbands, and I'm not making flip-flops because I'm morally opposed to something being in between toes. That's fucking gross. But I did make some of those like slide-on sandals, even though I don't want to see your goddamn toes because there's no such thing as cute toes. No such thing. But it's not all about me. It's about you. So I made some of those fucked up sandals with severed fingers on them. And there's going to be more, one of my little demons. It's on t-shirts. I'm trying out stuff. I'm just going to put a bunch of stuff out there and we're going to see. But you can get it through my web store. So that's what's exciting. That's all.